Check it out, re-listen. It's always good to sharpen the what? The rewind wheel, the brain, the sword. Look good. Hey.
How are you?
How you doing, Robin?
Great. How you doing?
Good. I can't see you gentlemen at this point.
Okay.
Can you?
We can see you. We can move.
I'm dancing.
I like the hat.
Yeah,
Thank
that's an
you.
awesome hat.
Thank you. Don't let the, I don't know where you guys are based, but don't let the Torontonians see that. You know what I mean?
We're picking up what you're
Awesome,
putting
man.
down.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're a busy man these days, huh? Well,
thanks for the invitation. You guys were very patient, and I'm really happy to do it. I'm really happy to talk to it, and hopefully deliver some awesome value to your people.
I'm sure you will. We have a great bunch of people that are in our group. Everything from Allstate agents to other insurance people that, what we tell a lot of people is that a lot of insurance agents take care of so many people, so many clients. A lot of times they don't take care of themselves. And that's part of why we do this, is to provide value, but also to, entertain and try to help.
Yeah, this is going to be a really great fit then, because as you know, if you've read the book, it's very much about the interior empires that precede all of the exterior empires. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Something that we don't spend a lot of us don't spend a lot of time on.
It's less and less, right? So,
Well, so you have an interesting story. I did read up about you a little bit, Robin. So you started in your career young as an attorney, a litigation attorney.
yes.
Is that? And so I guess that was an easy choice to get out of that, or was it?
I think one of the greatest crimes a human being commits is the crime of self-betrayal. A lot of the 5 a.m. club is, how do you take back your power? How do you reclaim your potential? How do you reconnect with your authenticity? How do you find that freedom and that we're all looking for? And I became a lawyer for a lot of wrong reasons. I can look back and say now. I listened to the voices of the people around me who define success on their terms and on society's terms, but I'd wake up every morning as a litigation lawyer and I was quote unquote successful according to the metrics of the world, but I felt like a failure myself. So what I did was I went on a pretty profound odyssey. I started studying the great women and men of the world through their biographies and autobiographies. I found a number of great mentors. I started searching for what makes truly world-class and what makes a soaring human life. And with what I learned, I made some profound changes in my mindset and heart set, health set, and soul set. I left the law. I self-published a little book called Mega Living in a 24-hour copy shop. My first seminar was 23 people. 21 of those people were my family members, but that sort of launched my journey into the field of leadership, elite performance, and personal mastery.
That is awesome. And in that journey, that odyssey, as you call it, how important were the roles of mentors?
I think incredibly important. But I would even say, don't give away your power to mentors. I think the journey to world class in many ways is trusting your own mentorship. There's a line in the 5 a.m. club that says, instinct is more powerful than intellect.
Yeah.
And our society cherishes the intellect. Our society cherishes the brain. And that's why in the 5 a.m. club, it's not just mindset, because that's just your intellect, but symphonies and the great art, the great families, the great movements were not created or caused by mindset alone. It was heart set. And so what I'm suggesting is I left the law. It made no sense intellectually. But I left the law because I had no choice but to follow the silent whispers of my heart or my instinct or my intuition. You know, George Bernard Shaw has an awesome quote, and he said, The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in adapting the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. And I think all of us, your many listeners and viewers included, I think we need to be a lot more unreasonable with how we live out our lives if we want to live our greatest lives.
Yeah, those outside influences and those voices, they'll constantly be telling you that you can't do it this way, or you have to stay the course. And it's just, it's amazing how when we listen instead of to our heart, but to those others, it can really put us where we don't need to be.
I love that.
I think, there's a model I teach called the genius betrayal continuum. And basically it speaks to the fact when we're little kids, we are intimate with our authenticity. When we are little kids, we believe we want to be astronauts and firefighters and insurance, professionals. We want to be teachers, poets. And then what happens is there's these forces, and I call them PENUM. That's the acronym. PENUM, that starts to brainwash us, and we go through this hypnosis away from our primal genius. And PENUM, just to add value to your followers, PENUM is parents, environment, nation, associations, and media. Now, we don't have time to go granular on that, but those are the 5 influences that start to give us this hypnosis and this messaging that we must contract and keep ourselves small and not be loving and not be brave and not be authentic and not have these wild dreams that change the world. And if we're getting these messages all our childhood, all our teenage years, through our 20s, from the media and our nation and our associations and our parents, etc., we'll get to a point where we're 25, 35, 55, 85, where we are a bunch of sheeple following the flock versus leadership, which is having the authenticity and bravery to do our own life. And a lot of the 5 AM Club, and I know we're going to get into it, but the reason why I spent 4 years writing the book, handcrafting every line, putting in some of my best models that I've taught to the billionaires, not only on creativity and productivity, but how do you live a happy life, a soulful life? Because I think success without soulfulness is a very empty victory. But I wrote this book because I think so many people have, maybe a lot of your people, they've got large businesses, they're serving their people, they've got great clients, they're probably pillars of their community, and yet they're waking up like I woke up with an empty heart going, is this it? I've got money, I've got the 2 Mercedes. And I think those things are important, but not at the cost of living by your values, knowing yourself, being joyful, and finding freedom. I think ultimately we don't want more Mercedes or social likes. We really want a heart full of joy and a life full of freedom, if that makes sense to you 2 gentlemen.
Totally. And what is success, right? Everybody says success is this, to your point, the reasonable success. Reasonably, people tell you that this is successful, but you don't feel it. So is that success? Heck no. Like, to your point, you had what everyone said was success, and it did not feel like it. So you had to go on your own journey to find success for yourself.
Yeah, completely, Jason. I spent over 2 decades coaching billionaires, CEOs. I've worked with Starbucks, leadership teams of Starbucks, Nike, Microsoft, GE, NASA. And I only mention those to say, I've met a lot of ultra rich people who are the poorest people I've ever met. Because they have to drink 12 bottles of beer on the way home to medicate themselves so they can hang out with the family they're disconnected with. They live in a mansion, but they're all alone. They have the yachts and the planes, but they don't feel they're contributing, or they feel there's a lot of pressure on them. They're in lawsuits. There's so much complexity. And so, I really think that's why this concept I'm introducing in the 5 AM Club of mindset is profound. You see, just to give some context, the 5 a.m. Club is really a manifesto for mastery. A lot of people, it's currently one of the best-selling books on the planet because a lot of people are finding it incredibly valuable to increase their productivity in this age of traumatic distraction. I was looking on Amazon yesterday. I think it's number 4 under time management. But it's a lot more than just a book on the morning routine of the billionaires. And one of the models I teach, I don't know if I can show it to you, but one of the models is called the 4 interior empires. Now, I know a lot of your followers, your fan base, they're obviously in the insurance industry. And I think, as you were saying before we started speaking, I hope you don't mind if I share it, but, I think it is mission critical. Your people are serving other people, but often we all suffer from martyr syndrome. And I'm sure you guys do, I sure do, which is you want to give, give, give. Well, what's the point if your own well is dry? How can you serve if you're empty? So one of the models of the book that is transforming the lives of the readers is this, the 4 interior empires. And what it speaks to is, I believe there's 4 interior empires I would encourage your followers or your people to really think about, because this is the DNA of all exterior empires of creativity, productivity, prosperity, and service to humanity. So the 4 interior empires are mindset. But you guys have heard this, like so many people are on Instagram or everywhere. Everything is mindset, dial in your mindset, be a positive thinker. But if that was the case, then the positive thinkers would rule the world. Like you said, Jason, well, we intellectually get it, we're successful, but we don't feel it. So what's the point? So I think mindset is only 25% of the personal mastery equation. I don't think mindset is everything because that's just your psychology. But as human beings, we're more than our psychology. We are what I call the 2nd interior empire of heart set, our emotionality. We feel joy, we feel anger, we feel gratitude, we feel shame. And it's not until you work through those heart set wounds where you're going to start to feel joy, feel gratitude, feel that, oh, I'm making money, it's a good thing. You got to feel your client's pain. You got to feel your family's empathy. But it's not only mindset and heart set you want to dial in, and I go very deep into it in the book with tools. It's mindset, heart set, health set. A lot of people are successful. They have no energy or vitality. So you want to learn how the pros escalate their health set so you play the long game. And number 4, soul set. And you might say, well, Robin, my people are entrepreneurs, they're business people. You lost me on soul set. And I don't think you would, but soul set is actually so important because soul set is simply rebuilding intimacy and connection with your inner warrior, your wisdom, your love, your access to humanity. You see, otherwise, if you don't do your heart set work, your life, your business will be run by the chattering voice of your ego, which is the voice of fear. You want to come from your soul set, which is the place of knowing and wisdom. And when you connect with that, you are playing a different game, my friends.
I love that. We always say, okay, so in my office, we always say when we're talking to a client, I always tell them, peel the onion. Everybody always says, oh, I don't want this, or I want this, or I had a bad day. You know what I mean? Or I don't have time. But keep asking more questions and get down to it. And it's kind of like the same thing that you're saying is peel that onion. Like what deeper? Like you might have these top layers, but when you really get under it, what really that heart set thing is just huge. And being able to go more granular than just the surface.
Completely right. So let's give your people an example. So you have these people, let's say, oh, I want to make more money this quarter. I want to get more clients this quarter. I want to get a new Ferrari this quarter. Okay. And because so many people are also on that path, and we have so many social media influencers encouraging that, you're right, Jason. We don't step back and say, why am I spending my days chasing these things? Because they might not be what I'm really chasing. Oh, let me do the heart set work Robin's talking about. And then you might realize you were never enough for daddy, or you're never enough for mommy. You never got any praise. You're full of neglect, and you've got this hole inside of you, and you're medicating that hole with more versus doing the heart set work to fill the hole. So you walk out in the world and say, no, I'm very intentional. Here's what I want. So the 4 interior empires are absolutely a game changer. There's a lot of people, they say, oh, we're suffering from what I call a comparison culture right now on social media. Well, that is likely because we have these emotional wounds within us. We're not locked into our own true power. So I hope this is making sense to you guys, but
100%.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
So we're deriving power and we're getting that dopamine fix to go to some of the neurobiology in the 5 a.m. club. We're getting the dopamine fix from the like versus filling our own interior lives with that sense of self-love, self-appreciation, strong identity. So we walk out in the world and we're an army of one. And even if people don't like us, we applaud ourselves. I mean, I did my 100th spin class the other day, and I'm not trying to say there's anything special about me. I'm trying to make a point here. So I got my 100th spin class, and I guess everyone was busy. Usually you get a card. I didn't get any card. I didn't, get any external applause. You're going to go boo-hoo, Robin. We'll bring in our insurance dudes violins. But as I was in the dark finishing up my soul cycle, my class, what I realized is I believe it was a universal test and opportunity for me to build some self-applause. And that's exactly what the gift was, I believe. And that's exactly what the heart set work is. And the 5 a.m. club, I go through the 20-20-20 formula that is seriously upgrading people's productivity and performance. If people want to go deeper, it's in the book. There's the 10 tactics of daily genius. It's very much a manifesto for increasing your creativity and productivity in this age of incredible distraction and interruption. But it's also a very philosophical book. And it teaches you how to start to applaud yourself and how to start to fill those inner holes and how to start to build, that warrior spirit that all of the great women and men of the world have. Like my heroes are the Mandelas, the Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the great women and men of the world, the pure leaders who go out there and lift up humanity. And I think ultimately, when we get to the last hour for last day, it's not going to be social media likes that are going to fill us with joy. It'll be service to our brothers and sisters on this tiny planet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You talk about how important that first hour of the day is. Like just getting set. Can you talk a little bit for the audience about that?
Oh, I'd love to. So I think I've talked to a lot of people, and I think there's some common things we are struggling with in the world right now. I think there's incredible volatility. There's incredible disruption. There's the commoditization of many industries. There is increasing client demands. There's increasing distraction and addiction in technology. And there's this increasing comparison culture, a few of the things. And I talk to a lot of people and they're saying, Robin, I don't have any more time for myself. Jason, just like you mentioned, Craig, you believe in it. A lot of us we're running dry. Get up in the morning, we're checking emails, notifications, this, that. It's just like, it's a very messy lives. So I believe that, and I say this in the 5 a.m. club, I say, tranquility is the new luxury. And I also use, some people are around the world. The book is on fire and people are attributing quotes in the book to me. And it's the Spartan warrior said this: sweat more in training and you'll bleed less and more. I'm going to repeat it again because I think it's so important. Sweat more in training and you'll bleed less in war. And so you're right. 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is what I call in the book the victory hour. And for anyone who is dismissing, I can't rise at 5 a.m. Well, if you recite your excuses long enough, you're going to hypnotize yourself to believe they're true. The gift of genius is neuroplasticity, which simply means the gift of genius is our human brain's ability to adapt. People who want to be better boxers by training, they train. People who want to be better chess champions, train, you get there. People who want to rise at 5 a.m., according to the research of University College London, do it for 66 days in a row. And there's actually an entire model in the book showing you the science of habit installation, so you can't argue with it. But you'll do it for 66 days, and you'll wake up at 5 a.m. And then you do the 20-20-20 formula, which I'm happy to get into because it actually gives you a precise protocol. I've talked to the billionaires, okay? And all of a sudden it's 6 a.m. You have optimized your cognition, your brain. You've optimized your energy. You've connected to your heart set. You're feeling full of glory and gratitude, and you've actually taken some time to do some learning. Now it's 6 o'clock. You trust me, you do this 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row, and you will dominate your domain, and you will start to completely rewire your performance, your happiness, your impact in your life. Yes, the first hour of the day is the mother of all habits.
Oh yeah. And it shouldn't be you just get up earlier so you can check your email and look on Facebook. I mean, it's actually to be productive, whether it's go to the gym, to meditate, to do some yoga, to do something that's actually going to advance your soul, right?
Absolutely. It's getting up and working on the 4 interior empires of mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. You're right. It's not about watching the news, scrolling, checking notifications, because you see, we have these assets as elite performers. And if all you do is run the assets, you'll erode the assets. The research, and I have to give credit to the Energy Project, for example. They have found that the essence to elite performance is not more elite performance, it's alternating elite performance with deep recovery. And that's why resting, renewing, having fun is incredibly important. So what you do at 5 to 6 every day or 5 days a week, some people say to me, Robin, I do shift work. I get home at 4. How can I do the 5 a.m. club? My reply, you can't. Sleep. So some people say, do I have to do it 7 days a week? I want to party on Friday night. And I go, it's a party on Friday night.
Yeah.
Do it 5 days a week. Why are you giving me your power? Take the book. It's got thousands of ideas in it. Use it to customize your own life. We give people our power, but the larger point is it's 1 hour to, well, let's get into the 20-20 formula if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's basically, here it is in the framework I teach in the book. I explain the neuroscience, I explain the rewards, and I explain precisely what to do. High level, 5 to 5-20, move, sweat, go to a spin class, do burpees, run on a treadmill. What that will do is it'll release BDNF, which John Rady, a doctor at Harvard, called miracle grow for the brain, which is going to increase your processing. It's going to repair damaged brain cells, and it's actually going to promote neurogenesis. Get this, guys, which is increasing the number of brain cells. Sweating first thing in the morning is going to release dopamine, which is the inspirational neurotransmitter. You're going to feel on fire. It's going to release serotonin, which is going to make you feel happier. That's pretty valuable as you go through your day.
Yep.
Going to reduce cortisol, your fear hormone. I could go on and on. I'd simply say it's also going to increase your metabolic rate. You're just going to give you a less body fat, more energy. Now it's 5:20. Guess what? You're on fire. The way you feel when you wake up is not the way you'll feel after 20 minutes if you run the protocol in the 5 a.m. club. Now, second pocket of the 20-20-20 formula, 5:20 to 5:40. This is awesome. You reflect. In a world where a lot of people are busy being busy, you'll take the time to do what I do. Maybe build out your, I know, I'm extreme. You build out your day, okay, with a cup of coffee while the rest of the world is asleep, or you pray. I believe in prayer. It helps me reconnect to my values and make sure I'm an instrument of service versus, a selfish person. I try to work through my insecurities, the heart set work, 5:20 to 5:40 through journaling. I have my journal right here. I can talk about my frustrations or my insecurities. I can reconnect to the person I want to be. How do you become a better human being? You work at it. So that's the reflection piece. You can meditate, you can do visualization, powerful. There's a lot of tools in the 5 a.m. club, like I talk about journaling, I deconstruct it. I actually give you a template for an amazing day. It's all in the book. 5:40 to 6 o'clock. You're feeling fantastic now. When you've even hydrated, which is important to mitochondrial function. Okay, now it's 5:40 to 6 o'clock. What do? You grow, you learn. You can read the 5 a.m. Club. You can read Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. You can read Martin Luther King's autobiography. You can read The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. You can read the Bible. You can read the Quran. You can read the Torah. You can read the Gita. You can read any holy book. But you can read about psychology. You can watch a TED Talk. Now it's 6 o'clock. You're on fire. You do that five days a week, because I know you want to party on Friday night. So you do that for 30 days. Come on, look at the results. You're going to be on fire.
Love it. That's great. I love that you have a blueprint for people too, because a lot of people they know they want to change, they know they want to do something, but where do you start? And how do you know where you start that you're doing the right stuff? By trial and error. I mean, you just took out years of trial and error right there.
Take out the excuses.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yeah. It's philosophy without technology is an empty victory.
To be continued.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium
Yes.
off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.